New developments today regarding that bill in Salem that has many of you fired up. Senate Bill 1548 would make standard time permanent and do away with daylight saving time. It's what Arizona, Hawaii, and some U.S. territories have already done. The bill passed a Senate committee on a unanimous 5-0 vote last week with a recommendation that the full Senate pass the bill. It had its second reading in front of the full Senate yesterday, and a third reading and vote happened today. We're going to show you how the vote played out. Keep an eye on the tally of votes towards the bottom of the screen.
President Wagner.
Aye.
Yeah, the laughs there because the vote ended in a tie. And because there's not a tie-breaking vote, which some other states do have, by the way, the bill failed. It needs a majority to pass. But some quick thinking just a few moments after the vote by one of the bill's chief sponsors kept the effort alive for now.
Recognize Senator Thatcher.
Point of order. I have a question.
State your point.
I had a script in my pocket in case it did fail, but it says, having voted on the prevailing side, I serve notice of possible reconsideration. So I ask you, what is the motion now? Okay. All right. So then I guess I understand now that I will request a unanimous, well, I guess I just want to change my vote to no. There you go. And then serve notice of possible reconsideration, having voted on the prevailing side with a no.
Just classic legislative drama, right? So let's explain what happened there. The bill failed, but Senator Thatcher then switched her yes vote to a no vote and asked for something called reconsideration. And this is all because of Senate rules. You can find this 85-page document online. We did. We're heading to page 27 for the section on reconsideration. Here's how it works. Someone from the prevailing side of a vote, in this case the people who voted no, can request reconsideration. That's why Thatcher had to switch her yes vote to a no vote in order to be on the prevailing side. Once she could ask for reconsideration, but because we're in the short session, any reconsideration has to happen the same day as when it was called for. And that's what happened at the end of today's Senate floor session. The senators had to vote on whether or not they would even consider the reconsideration, which they approved 26-3. At that point, Senator Thatcher begrudgingly said she wanted to send the bill back to committee in order to add a trigger amendment, meaning the bill could pass the legislature but would not take effect until a trigger is met. Other discussions on the bill talked about adding a trigger if nearby states make the permanent standard time switch, Washington, California, and Idaho among them. I say Thatcher begrudgingly made that request because while the bill was being discussed ahead of the first vote, at least one other senator thought a trigger would make more sense. So Oregon's not on its own little island of standard time if we were the first to do this in the Pacific Northwest. And then the full Senate had to vote a third time to approve moving the bill to the Senate Rules Committee to add that amendment. That vote passed as well. The bill has not been updated on the legislature's website just yet, so the exact details of that trigger amendment are not yet clear. But we expect to get an update when the Senate Rules Committee meets again on Thursday afternoon. And for what it's worth, Washington's bill to make standard time permanent is officially dead. Their next chance to do something would be in their next legislative session in January. There are bills in both California and Idaho to make standard time permanent. Those are both still in their original committees.